Hey guys, welcome back to none other than, of course, your girl Cooking with Tammy. And today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy appetizer, perfect for the weekend, game day, or just because. Today we're going to be making, guess what? We're going to be making barbecue chicken nachos. When I tell you this recipe right here is everything, continue watching and let's jump into the video. As you can see, we have some chicken breast right here. Chicken breast has been washed, cleaned, and diced into small bite-sized pieces. We also have some barbecue sauce, not to mention we have our salt, ground black pepper, as well as some chili powder, little Montreal chicken seasoning. If you don't have Montreal chicken seasoning, you can always substitute with poultry seasoning. We also have some garlic powder, as well as some red onions. Those are pretty, right? Gorgeous. And our cilantro, fresh cilantro that is. And we also have some diced tomatoes, as well as our cheese. Now, when it comes to the cheese, you could use Monterey Jack, Colby, cheddar cheese. It is totally up to you and your preference when it comes to the cheese. To our nice hot pan, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with adding some avocado oil. Just a light drizzle, not too much. Once that oil comes up to temperature, what we're going to do is we are going to add our chicken breast pieces to the pan. We're going to season with our salt and pepper, Montreal chicken seasoning, garlic powder. I want this recipe to be packed with tons of flavor, so we got to get everything out of this ramekin. We also have our chili powder, which we're going to add. And when it comes down to the chili powder, you're going to add as much as you want to add, whether it be a little bit or a ton of chili powder. Mix it all up. Make sure everything is well combined. On a regular day, I would usually add my seasoning to the bowl along with the protein, whether it be beef, chicken, shrimp, doesn't matter. But since my bowl was a little bit on the smaller side, I decided to add it to the pan. It makes it a little easier. But of course, you can season it while it's in the bowl if you're working with a large bowl. I'm going to allow it to brown before I flip it over. During the cooking process, if the chicken starts to retain water or there's a lot of excess water in your pan, what you're going to do is you're going to turn the flame up on high heat, allow that liquid to dry out, or you can drain some of the liquid off. Now, here's the thing. You might not want to lose all of those flavors that you added to the chicken, so it might be best just to turn that flame up on high heat. Allow the water to drain naturally so you keep that flavor locked into the chicken. Our chicken is pretty much finished cooking, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of my red onions because I want to incorporate some of those flavors from the onions within the chicken during the cooking process. After about 5 minutes, take a quick look. All of the water is pretty much dried out of the pan and I still have all of my flavors locked in. At this point in time, what we are going to do is we're going to add our barbecue sauce. When it comes down to the barbecue sauce, you're going to add your favorite brand or favorite type of barbecue sauce. We're going to incorporate it really well, mix it all in. And I have to be honest with you, this barbecue chicken smells so delicious right about now. However, we're going to continue mixing it up towards the chicken, make sure it's well coated. And we're going to cook it down for about 5 minutes. We're trying to get the barbecue sauce to release those sugars and become nice and caramelized. So that way it's nice and sticky. We want that nice, sticky, flavorful barbecue chicken. So like I said, about 5 minutes on medium-high heat should get the job done. It is finally time for the fun part. Yes, it is time for us to build some nachos. So let's get to building. I'm going to start off with using this to-go tray right here. Now, of course, you can use a flat baking sheet or even a cast iron skillet. Whatever you have is perfectly fine. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with adding some of our reduced salt tortilla chips. And yes, you could use regular tortilla chips. It's totally up to you. I just think it's cool that it comes in, lightly salted. So we're going to rock out with that today. And of course, we're just going to add it to the pan. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be neat. Just make sure everything is covered at the bottom. You don't see any of the pan or the skillet or whatever it is that you're using. Once we get those chips on in the pan, what we're going to do is we're going to add some of our delicious barbecue chicken. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Add as much or as little bit as you want. And we're going to add some more. It's about time for us to add our cheese. And I know there's a lot of you out there who love cheese just like myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to add as much cheese as we want, because guess what? We're about to have a cheese party. It's time for us to add those red onions. Sprinkle it on, sprinkle it on. Add some tomatoes. Same thing applies. Sprinkle it on. Make sure it's evenly distributed. And we're going to go in and we're going to add that cilantro for those of us who love cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, of course, you're going to opt out of it. We're going to repeat the same process. We're going to go ahead and add some tortilla chips. Make sure everything is covered with the tortilla chips, followed by adding more chicken. And yeah, we're going to go all out when it comes to adding the chicken. We're just going to, get all crazy with it. We're just going to add a ton of chicken. Because unless you know something that I don't know, I can't build any more of my nachos. That's it. My little pan can't hold anything else as far as building upward. Because if not, we're going to have an overflow in the oven. So I'm just going to take this time to just add all of the chicken to the nachos and make it look good, make it look real pretty. I'm about to move this piece on over because for some reason I feel like it's going to fall off once it gets into the oven. And we do not need any smoky situations occurring. We are going to go in and add our cheeses. Yes, we are. We're going to add as much cheese as we want. Better yet, we're going to add all of the cheese. We're going to finish it off with that cilantro added to the top. Make it look nice and pretty. We're going to add some tomatoes. Adding the tomatoes gives such a pop of color and vibrancy. By the time everything is melted on down, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to come together so beautifully. We're going to add our onions. However, same thing applies. If you don't like red onions, feel free to use white onions, yellow onions, or even green onions. Yeah, we're all about the flavors, but if it's something that you don't like, just leave it out and it's not going to break your nachos. If you're like me and you still have a little cheese left over, now would be the perfect time to use it because you want your nachos to have that nice, gooey, cheesy effect. I mean, after all, what's the point of having nachos if it can't be nice and cheesy and stuff? You know what I mean? What's the point? And we are going to place our beautiful chicken nachos into the oven, allow the cheese to melt and get nice and gooey. And once we're done, we're going to pull it on out. Allow it to cool because we don't want to burn our fingers or our mouth. And when it comes down to the cooking time, 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. Quick disclosure, depending on the type of cheese that you're using, it may take a little bit longer or a little bit quicker to melt on down. However, what you're going to do is you're going to peek periodically from time to time to see whether or not if the cheese that you decided to add has melted. Because all we're going for basically with this is just a gooey effect, melted cheese, and that's about it. Anyway, guys, as always, I'm your girl cooking with Tammy. I will catch you guys in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys. Enjoy.